Big Brother Season 24 winner Taylor Hale recently shared her thoughts on the competition of Season 27 and the houseguests' gameplay. During an interview with host Julie Chen Moonves, posted on her Instagram on September 14, 2025, Taylor Hale was asked to comment on houseguest Vince Panaro's gameplay, when she said, "It's not my cup of tea. I personally don't really enjoy it. It's weasely, it's very snake, you know. I can't even call it snake-like, 'cause at least a snake has a bite." The former winner added that whenever Vince made a move, he hesitated to own it and often ran away, whined, and whimpered about his decisions. Taylor disapproved of his strategy, saying it was not how she would play the game. But at the same time, she admitted that his gameplay was effective. Although she did not wish to give him credit for his efforts, she could not overlook the impact he had on the competition and on the other competitors. Later in the interview, Taylor also spoke about potential winners, Vince's chemistry with Morgan, and more. After Taylor clarified that she was not a fan of Vince's gameplay, Julie asked her to share what she thought of his relationship with Morgan. Vince and Morgan were called the cheatmance of Season 27 because of Vince's closeness with Morgan, despite having a longtime partner outside the house. While reflecting on their connection, Taylor said that she could see two people developing a deep bond in the competition, but she could not approve of some of the things Vince and Morgan had done, including long hugs, sleeping in the same bed, saying "I love you," and more. "What I don't like is moving in a way that is clearly disrespectful or potentially crossing the boundaries or inconsiderate of people that you care about outside of the house," Taylor explained. The Big Brother alum hoped that Vince would take time off throughout the day to talk to people on the live feeds at home to clarify his intention behind his actions. That way, she felt that people watching him would feel assured. According to Taylor, it was Vince's lack of ownership that made him a questionable houseguest in her eyes. In another segment of the interview, Julie asked Taylor who, according to her, could win the show. Taylor named Morgan, Vince, and Keanu as her top choices. However, she felt each of them had to take some measures to ensure they were on the right track. Here's what needs to happen. Morgan needs to separate her game from Vince's game, and if she wins Final 2, she needs to completely eviscerate him in the Final 2 seat, she stated. Taylor wanted Morgan to have her agency back instead of focusing on her connection to Vince. As for Keanu, Taylor thought he had an underdog story and would look compelling in the Final 2 seats. But even then, if it did come down to the three of them, Taylor felt it would be difficult for Keanu to outperform Vince and Morgan. However, for the rest of the houseguests, Taylor could not see them winning Big Brother Season 27. Julie then pitched the idea of Morgan and Lauren turning on Vince and taking each other to the Final 2. Taylor believed it would be a beneficial and strategic move and even called it the move of her dreams. She added that it was her ultimate wish to see an all-women jury phase. However, Will Williams leaving in Week 9 wasn't the ideal outcome for the house, but not necessarily a terrible move for Lauren Domingue. She couldn't get Morgan Pope out of the game, and the most easygoing houseguest in Big Brother Season 27 is now in the jury house. Will was okay with leaving the game, but told Cinema Blend he is worried about a couple of other allies now that he's gone. As Vince Panaro's HOH puts 3 more houseguests in jeopardy, people are watching Big Brother online, via Paramount Plus subscription, and trying to figure out who is leaving this week. As for Will, who spoke to us in a video message shared with press, and talked about his concern for Ava Pearl and Ashley Hollis, though he's definitely concerned about one way more than the other. Ava is on the block in Week 10, and while Will didn't know that when he spoke to press, he was indeed worried about his buddy back in the house. He said a lot of tears were shed by the Week 5 HOH leading up to his eviction, and they weren't his tears. "I worry about Ava a lot, I do. Ava is the one person who plays so much. Ava cried so much because she thought I may be leaving during the week. She cried so much, I was supporting Ava. I was like, damn girl, I'm the one on the block. She cried so much because she's like, well, I'm next. I'm after you. These people are crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do. She's so emotional. I know that girl was crying after I left, I know it. Probably half the night. I worry about her. I hope she leans more on Lauren and Kelly. If she leans more on those people, I think she would get further. Will thinks Ava needs to align with some others in the house to survive to the end, and thus far, that hasn't happened. She's still sitting on the outskirts, and while that's worked out for her throughout the bulk of this game so far, I'm not sure it's an effective strategy at this stage in Big Brother. Those who want to win BB play eventually, and she's not doing much to build her resume. Will also told Cinema Blend he's also worried about Ashley Hollis, but not in the same way that he's worried about Ava. He acknowledged that Ashley used him as a sounding board to bounce off ideas when they were in the house together, but in truth, she could find anyone to talk out the ideas she has. As he put it, I worry about Ashley because she doesn't have that person anymore. She was already down when Rachel was gone, and now with me gone and Rachel gone, oh God. But Ashley, she's gonna talk, a lot. Doesn't matter if nobody's in the room. So, she'll get over it. And likely anyone watching Big Brother Season 27, can likely attest to the fact that Ashley can talk to a brick wall if she thinks it'll listen. Truthfully, I think it's led to her longevity in the game, and why she's still here after a disastrous week 1 controversy involving spending too much time taking a shower. Ultimately, the Big Brother house at large will be fine with Will in the jury house. Of course, I'm sure more than a few wanted him to stick around for someone easy to sit on the block against in the final 2, but he's been expendable since the jury phase just started. Hopefully, he and Rachel Riley have some fun in the jury house and feel refreshed when they return for the finale. However, as Big Brother 27 continues, frustration emerged among houseguests as they debated voting strategies and potential tie scenarios. During the September 14th live feeds, head of household Vinny maintained control over nominations, placing Ava, Kelly, and Keanu on the block. The power of veto players included Ava, Kelly, Keanu, Morgan, and Lauren, with Morgan ultimately winning the POV. House guests engaged in detailed discussions on how to influence the vote, considering hypothetical tie situations and potential replacements. The episode showed multiple conversations between allies as they worked to align strategies and manage game outcomes while confirming individual voting intentions. In the lounge room, Lauren and Kelly discussed methods to influence the votes regarding potential tie outcomes. Kelly explained a planned approach to Lauren, stating she would win the blockbuster competition. Lauren questioned how this would be implemented, to which Kelly responded, "I vote to keep you and make him force a tie between you and Keanu." Lauren acknowledged the plan as a potential favor to her, explaining that once she is placed on the block, she would have to face it again. She added that this approach would work in her favor because not many other house guests in the house would choose to nominate her, reducing her overall risk of being targeted. Several strategic discussions took place in the head of household room. Morgan spoke with Vinny regarding voting alignment and possible tie scenarios, explaining that if a certain situation occurred, she would vote a house guest out to ensure Vinny would not have to handle a tie. She emphasized that this approach would secure the intended outcome while confirming loyalty and alignment in the game. Vinny acknowledged Morgan's plan and confirmed that he understood and agreed with her approach. In a separate discussion with Kelly, Vinny explored hypothetical replacement scenarios to anticipate different outcomes. Kelly clarified that she would intentionally create a tie in the votes and ensure that Keanu would be sent to the jury house, outlining a precise strategy to influence the voting results while maintaining control over the nominations. Vinny responded, "Okay. That's good. And then he loses both of our jury votes. Omicron Kappa." Additional discussions took place in the backyard and hot tub areas, reflecting ongoing concerns about the week's nominations. Lauren shared her perspective with the camera, explaining that her final 2 could potentially put her on the block that week. She noted this possibility without providing further context. Afterward, Lauren and Kelly entered the hot tub to continue strategy discussions. Kelly addressed the game plan with Lauren, explaining the arrangement she had convinced Vinny to accept regarding the nominations. She said that she had convinced Vinny that she, Lauren, and Ava would have aligned votes and emphasized that Keanu was the target for eviction this week, stating, "I've convinced Vince that me, you, and Ava would have him. I think you did the brunt of that and I hit. I've convinced him that this is Keanu week to go no matter what." Morgan, Ashley, and Kelly later discussed prior votes and plans, with Ashley emphasizing that Kelly has to go and noting that if she wins the blockbuster competition, she could continue impacting the game. Keanu and Vinny also spoke in the lounge about maintaining relationships post-eviction, with Keanu reassuring that the house guests would remain friends after the week's events.